The next bill on the calendar of the day is Senate File 193. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 193, number 2 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to health occupations, the first engrossment.
Representative Morrison, would you like to put the House language in before you present your bill?
Madam Speaker, yes, I would, please.
The clerk will report the amendment.
Morrison moves to amend Senate File number 193, the first engrossment, as follows. Delete everything after the enacting clause and insert the following language of House File number 269, the first engrossment. The amendment is coded DEA 269.
Any discussion to the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion prevails and the amendment is adopted. Representative Morrison, to your bill as amended.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, House File 269 is a bill to allow Minnesota to join the Psychology Interjurisdictional Compact, or PsyPact, which is an interstate compact that allows licensed psychologists to practice telehealth and do some in-person visits across state lines in other PsyPact member states. It's currently law in 15 states and is pending in 10 others, including Minnesota and Iowa. PsyPact will provide many benefits to Minnesotans. It will increase access to care by allowing psychologists from other compact states to provide services to underserved populations in Minnesota. This is an important equity issue as people in rural areas and certain disadvantaged populations currently have long waits for services or receive no services at all. It improves continuity of care. Minnesota psychologists can follow a patient that attends college out of state or serves in the United States military and is highly mobile, or continue to treat a patient that spends part of the year in another state. PsyPact is strongly supported by the U.S. Department of Defense to support their personnel and their families who move frequently. Veteran suicide is at an unacceptably high rate. We owe it to our vets to help them get the care they need. There's a huge unmet need in mental health care in Minnesota, and there was one before the pandemic, and we know that the events of the past year have made that need grow in both numbers and urgency. The increase in mental health needs and substance use disorders brought on by the pandemic have grown. These are longer-term challenges that require longer-term care, and the number of people who need them has increased. We don't have enough psychologists in Minnesota now to meet those needs, and without PsyPact and the psychologists from other compact states, we won't be able to fill the need for over a decade. It takes a student entering college many years of study before becoming a fully licensed psychologist. PsyPact will protect Minnesotans and those in compact states with the highest standards. I'm sure many of you have heard from constituents who support this change. I know I have. And psychologists across the state support Minnesota joining PsyPact. They know, we all know, how acute the need is. The Minnesota Psychological Association and the Board of Psychology support Minnesota joining PsyPact, as does NAMI. This legislation has bipartisan support. I especially want to thank Representative Keel, who is a co-author, and Senator Benson, who is carrying the legislation in the Senate. So let's protect the health of Minnesotans across the state by joining PsyPact and expanding access to much needed mental health care with no impact on the general fund. Members, I urge you to join me in voting green so that we can get Minnesotans the care they need and deserve.
There are no further amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 193, as amended.
Third reading. Discussion. To the author of the bill, Representative Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I urge a green vote for the health of Minnesotans. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll. Members, please vote. The clerk will call the names of those members who have not yet voted.
Anderson.
Anderson, aye.
Anderson, I. Baker.
Baker, aye.
Baker, I. Bow.
Bow, aye.
Bow, I. Davids.
David's votes aye.
Davids, I. Davney.
Dabney, aye.
Davney, I. Erickson.
Erickson, I.
Erickson, I. Franzen.
Franson votes aye.
Franzen, I. Gomez.
Gomez, aye.
Gomez, I. Grunhagen.
Grunehagen, aye.
Grunhagen, I. Hanson, R.
Hanson, R, aye.
Hanson, R. I. Hassan.
Hassan, aye.
Hassan, I. Hausman.
Hausman, I.
Hausman, I. Heinrich.
Heinrich, aye.
Heinrich, I. Lucero.
Lucero, yes.
Lucero, I. Moran.
Moran, aye.
Moran, I. Nash.
Nash, aye.
Nash, I. Olson, B.
Olson B, aye.
Olson, B. I. Pearson.
Pearson, aye.
Pearson, I. Swazinski.
Swazinski, aye.
Swazinski, I.
The clerk will close the roll. There being 132 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed as amended and the title agreed to.